Here's what they didn't tell you about growing up that I really don't appreciate. Nobody tells you that within your mid to late 20s, sometimes earlier for some people, you really get to see the people around you a lot clearly. More specifically, your motherfucking parental units, your mama and your daddy, right? The most heartbreaking thing that a lot of us encounter as we get older and as we see the world for what it really is and not for what we were told it was growing up is who our parents are. Realizing that we really weren't loved the way we were supposed to be loved according to what society and mainstream media, pop culture, you name it, Disney Channel, tells us that love is supposed to look like. We start to look at our parents and how we grew up, and we look back at Disney and look back at our parents and Disney. Why y'all don't look like that? And so, in my own self development and search for peace and self love and trying to heal all this bullshit that that we call childhood trauma, I discovered something I am now calling the illusion of proximity. Let me explain. The illusion of proximity pretty much denotes that being close to someone, essentially living in the same house, can create the illusion of love because you're essentially being provided for. This is a love language of parents because they think that words of affirmation, quality time, and acts of service aren't as important as provision because we struggled growing up. It wasn't easy for a lot of us. So provision, that is love, motherfucker. You ate, didn't you? You got food on your back, didn't you? Trigger. So, though I know my mother loves me, I didn't really have evidence of it beyond provision. Once distance was introduced, and in my personal case, mine moved to a whole nother fucking country on my ass when I was 18, but that's another story. That's from a therapist. Once my mom moved, I realized within our communication, she didn't really make an effort to keep up with me. She wasn't really invested in what I wanted to do. And as soon as I told her I didn't want to be a doctor anymore, she stopped asking about school. So the illusion of proximity was one of those wake up calls, if you will, where I really got to see my mama for who she was. And that was heartbreaking. It still is, if I'm being really honest. Talk to me though. Have you encountered this if you are a young 20 something or if you're, in your 30s? Is this something that you're now unpacking? How do you feel about your parents? Has anything changed as you got older? Did you guys get closer? Must be nice.